So I want to welcome everybody to Celebrity Central. My name is Richard. I think a lot of us were together last cruise. Now I'll tell you, I am used to designing classes for longer cruises, for 14-day cruises and things like that. I'm from the iLounge, which is on deck 6, and this is a celebrity life activity. And we're getting started early because I want to talk about a lot of things with you this cruise. We're going to talk about a lot of different unique things, but one of the questions I get asked today more than anything else is, what is airplane mode? What is the purpose of airplane mode? Now, it's got to be pretty important because if you have an iPhone or you have an iPad or if you have an Android, it's all the way at the top of your settings. So it's all the way at the top of your settings, and you've got something that's called airplane mode. So today I want to go ahead and talk about airplane mode. Now, how many of you have used airplane mode before? On airplanes. And that's what airplane mode was originally designed for. It was designed for airplanes, when you wouldn't have anything interfering and messing with the airplanes and doing different things like that. But here's what happened. Airplanes started having Wi-Fi on them. So what do they have to do? They have to enable you to use Wi-Fi even when you're in airplane mode. And this is a big misconception a lot of people have is, can you put on airplane mode and still communicate with your phone? The answer is, when you turn on airplane mode, it disables a couple of things. Now, what does it disable first of all? Disables the phone. That includes calling, that includes texting, that includes all kinds of other things like that. The other thing it actually goes ahead and disables, it disables the Wi-Fi. It disables the Bluetooth. But here's the interesting thing, and this is something I will tell you I only very recently figured out. Airplane mode does not disable the GPS. A lot of people think it does disable the GPS, but it doesn't disable the GPS. It disables what's called assisted GPS. Did any of you have an actual GPS unit back in the day when all they did was GPSs in your car? Did you have one of those? If you drove more than 100 miles or so, it would have to recalibrate where it was. What assisted GPS does is it uses your phone's cellular towers to figure out exactly what's going on with the phone. So I'll give you an example. If you were on the cellular network in Norway, in London, and you got a great signal, we're going a couple hundred miles, and we're going to be going to Norway. And if you take your phone out and you're on airplane mode, it's going to take it about 10 minutes or so to find its location. So if you put it on airplane mode, it's going to take a lot longer to find the location. But if you put it on airplane mode, it turns off all the different things. Now, the nice thing is, again, as I said, I couldn't show it on the screen unless Wi-Fi was on, but if you put on airplane mode, it automatically turns off Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. But the cool thing is you can turn them back on. Now, Wi-Fi is useful for things like Wi-Fi calling and different spectrums like that. Also, things like Facebook Messenger, which we're going to be talking about tomorrow night. We're going to talk about Facebook Messenger just a little bit. So what I recommend is, if you have not set up a plan with your cell phone company or anything like that, you can switch your phone on airplane mode. Now, if you've already set up a plan, you're okay, but you can switch your phone on airplane mode, and then you can continue to use the internet on board or the internet ashore or anywhere that there happens to be Wi-Fi enabled to allow you to do that. So that will allow you to do things like iMessage. So if you have Wi-Fi, you can iMessage, you can FaceTime, you can do all those other things. All airplane mode restricts you from doing is using the phone application. So it restricts you from using that application, but if you're from the US, anybody from the US? If you're from the US, what's very cool is you actually have Wi-Fi calling that you can use. Even if you're on airplane mode, you can use Wi-Fi calling, which is very, very unique, and it's something you set up with your carrier. But if you have any US carrier, you can enable Wi-Fi calling, and you can call. You'll notice that I'm on airplane mode. You see it says airplane mode. I'm connected to Wi-Fi, so I'm connected to Celebrity Wi-Fi, and if I wanted to, I could go ahead and actually use my phone like normal and make a Wi-Fi call. Let's see if my mom wants to talk to me right now. What time is it there? This watch tells me it's 2:50 in the afternoon. Now, I'm calling Mom. No, that's Mom. But I can actually call Mom. Let's see if she wants to say hi. I can't call her tomorrow morning because it's going to be too early in the morning. Mom, you want to say hi?
She's ignoring you.
She's ignoring me.
She knows you're calling.
She knows I'm calling. She's decided she doesn't want to call me. She doesn't want to listen to my call, but I'm not leaving Mom a voicemail. But I can go in and I can actually call my mom directly from here. I can call any number. And to do that, what you need to do is you need to be connected to Wi-Fi. And one of the things is, what's cool is with our new Accelerate system, it is fast enough to actually make Wi-Fi calls on board. We can go in, we can hit General, not General, we go into the settings and we scroll down to where it says Phone, and there's something called Wi-Fi calling. you can actually go in and you can make a Wi-Fi call. You just have to set that up, put in your address at home. So if you call 911, they know exactly where to send 911 to. But here's another thing. I said that airplane mode turns off both Wi-Fi as well as Bluetooth. Turns off Wi-Fi as well as Bluetooth. How many of you have used a pair of Bluetooth headphones before? Anybody have an iPhone 7 or considering an iPhone 7? If you have an iPhone 7 and you try and plug a pair of wired headphones in, what happens? There's no plug. So the interesting thing is, well, where are headphones headed? I'm actually wearing a cool pair of headphones that I've had for about a month or two, and I love these. These are called Beats X headphones. And what's cool is when you're in airplane mode, these have something called the W1 chip inside of them. Get these off. They stick around my neck, and if I just hold down the button, what they'll do is they will automatically pair up with my iPhone. So I don't have to go into settings, I don't have to go into Bluetooth, I don't have to go into anything. It's a really cool new chip called the W1 chip, and it goes in and it allows me to actually pair directly with these headphones wirelessly without needing to go into settings, without needing to go into Bluetooth, without needing to go all of those different places. Yeah, you got a question?
Is Wi-Fi calling free?
Wi-Fi calling is included in your phone plan, and the Wi-Fi calling minutes don't count against your phone plan, and they'll work anywhere that you have an internet connection, which is what's really cool. So Wi-Fi calling is free. AT&T, Sprint, and T-Mobile users can turn it on, pretty much no questions asked. Verizon, some people do need to contact their carrier in order to set it up. So to give you an idea, some people need to contact their carrier in order to set it up. But I wanted to show you two more things that I want you to follow along with really quickly, because the other thing that won't happen while you're in airplane mode is the time on your device won't change. So do you know how to correctly change the time on your device? Because I showed you last cruise. Yes.
Where are we going?
Where are we going next? That's the good question. So what it is how many of you changed the time on your phone before manually? Yeah? You just wait for it to change automatically. Here's the important thing. If you change time the wrong way, every appointment you make for the next 7 days, guess what? It's going to be in the wrong time. You're going to be late for the whole rest of the time once you get home. So what I want you to do is I want you, if you have we all have iPhones and iPads. I'll help Android people after, no problem, because it's a little different on Androids. But we're going to go to Settings, General. So we're going to go into our settings. We're going to click on General, and we're going to click on Date and Time. And what happens is, right now, I can say a lot of us probably have it on set automatically, and it's on London time, which is 7:51 or 7:54 or 7:50, whatever time you have. The official ship time right now is 7:53 is the official ship time right now, just to give you a little idea there. But I go in and it says London. The way a lot of you have probably changed the time before is you click on the time right here, and you move it an hour forward. Do you know what happens when you do that? All of your schedules, all of your calendars, all of your email go crazy. So what you do is you change the location. So before you go to bed tonight, what you want to do is where it says time zone, you just want to click it and type in Norway. So we type in Oslo, Norway is perfectly fine. So you type in Oslo, and then what it is you will have the correct time. A very important factor. Do any of you still use alarms and you wake up with your alarm on your phone? You need to change your time before you set your alarm. Because the alarm, when you turn it on, works as a countdown timer. I have before set my alarm, and then guess what happens when I change the time? It goes off an hour too late, or an hour too early. An hour too early is no problem, but an hour too late, no good, to give you an idea there. So you want to make sure you change your time automatically. You change your time manually. So you go into Settings, General, Time and Date, and you'll see, for most of you, it probably says Set Automatically. But what you want to do instead is you want to go ahead and you want to put a time in right there. Now, the last thing I want to talk about today, and then I'll take a couple questions, is something called location services, because it is related to airplane mode. If you know, when you opened the camera on your phone the first time, it said, do you want this camera to be able to track your location and figure out where you are when you're taking pictures? And hopefully a lot of us said, yes. But I found last cruise that a lot of people said, no. And here's the important thing. Something I'm going to show you, give you a little tease on a bit later in the cruise, is an application called Google Photos, which is going to find your location, but I want to make sure that it finds your location properly. So still, I want you to go back to your settings, and I'll help anyone afterwards, no problem. We're going to go to Settings, we're going to go to Privacy, and we're going to go to where it says Location Services. And when you have your camera here, I want to make sure, so Settings, Privacy, Location Services, and it'll say Allow camera to use your location. And you want it to use your location because then, guess what happens if it can't find your location? Where were your photos taken? Nowhere. That's what's very, very interesting. But the goal for this is I want everybody to understand, because I get calls, I get questions all the time. How do I make sure I don't get charges that I don't know from my carrier or different things like that? The simplest thing I want to teach you today is if you take your phone, you put it on airplane mode, you won't run into any charges, any surprises, anything like that, and then you can still use Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. And again, I showed you my favorite pair of Bluetooth headphones, which use what's called the W1 chip. These are called the Beats X. And they use the W1 chip, and I just click it in, I go like that, and it'll automatically pair. And the nice thing is it'll work with any of your phones in this room, and once I have it paired up, what's really cool is it pairs to all of my devices. It works over iCloud, so it'll work on my iPhone, on my iPad, on my Mac, any device like that. So do I have a couple questions? I got a couple minutes for questions on airplane mode. Anybody have any questions on airplane mode? Go ahead. Do we all understand how to change the time properly on our device? Yes, question?
When we left the dining room just now, waiter said that
we turn the clocks forward, yes.
So maybe
Yes.
we should change that time now.
Yes, so how we do that is we just go in, I showed you that a couple seconds ago, but you just go into General, and then you go into Date and Time, and don't change your time, change your location. So the location we're going to type in is we're going to type in Oslo, Norway. Now, another really cool thing you can do on airplane mode is something called Facebook Messenger. Have any of you ever heard of Facebook Messenger? So we're going to be talking in here tomorrow night about Facebook Messenger. So we're going to be talking about Facebook Messenger, and we're going to go into Facebook Messenger and talk a lot of different things that are going on with Facebook Messenger. But we do have before then at 1 o'clock tomorrow in the main theater, we're going to be doing a course called Let's Talk Tech. We're going to talk all kinds of different tech. We're going to talk how to take better pictures in Norway. So if you saw the class the last cruise, I promise you, you did not see the same class. I will bring some things, but we're going to talk specifically about Norway, how to take pictures in different shooting situations, how to protect your phone if you happen to be on a rigid inflatable boat, which is my favorite tour to do, how to take pictures through the glass of the Flam Railway, and different things like that, because I want to make sure that everything you go out and do, you can take the best pictures, take your memories, take them home, share them with people, and keep them for many years to come. Followed by, we're going to be doing a Google Photos class at 3:30 in the iLounge, and then we're going to be back in here at 7:45 to talk about Facebook Messenger. And one more thing we're working on, I don't have all the final details yet because I'm still getting the information from the bridge. We're going to be doing a photo safari when we're pulling into the Geringer Fjord. So teaching you how to take better pictures and different things like that. So the information will come up there. I wrote to the bridge and I said exactly what time are we going to be by the Two Sisters waterfall. It's called the Seven Sisters waterfall, but there's a lot of snow right now, so I heard there might be two sisters going on. So I've been in Norway for many, many years. I've been for the last 3 or 4 years on the Eclipse. It is my favorite ship in the fleet, and this is my third favorite itinerary. I love the Baltic, I love the Med, but my third favorite itinerary is the Norwegian cruise. So I wanted to get started early. And trust me, you will see the theater, if you were here last cruise, will fill up a lot tomorrow, but I wanted to come talk about airplane mode. Do we have any other questions about airplane mode? Yes?
Airplane mode.
Okay, go ahead.
That Wi-Fi calling.
Wi-Fi calling, yeah.
Can you do it on an iPhone 5?
So the Wi-Fi calling is available on the iPhone 6 and above because it requires a special piece of hardware, and the Samsung Galaxy S6 and above. But what's very cool is on any iPhone, any Android, any computer, anything, you can use Facebook Messenger, and you can call people on Facebook Messenger, which is something I will show you tomorrow night. I'm going to call my mom and make sure she wants to listen to my call there. Yeah?
I have a question. In Geiger Fjord, it said there's no
Yes.
phone
So
internet.
here's the thing. I'll answer your question. Geringer Fjord, the way our satellites shoot and the way most satellites shoot is at a 45-degree angle. The fjord is at about a 70-degree angle. So we cannot shoot above the fjord. That's the way all communication satellites work. So that's why there's no... The fjord completely surrounds the ship. Everywhere else we have a fjord on one side, and we can shoot over it, if that makes sense. But we actually go all the way down the channel, and that's why we won't have a connection there. So I've been for 5 years and we haven't had connection anytime during the 5 years. Yes, in the front row.
What if I put them on when I get back home, will go back to Eastern time?
Awesome question. He said, well, if I leave my phone on, so what you need to do is when you get back home, you just switch on set automatically and you'll be perfectly fine. So you'll be perfectly fine. But on the ship, you'll never have the time correct automatically, and if it corrects automatically, you know what it's going to correct to? Greenwich Mean Time, which is how ships operate. So right now, officially on the ship, it's not 8 o'clock, I think it's 9 o'clock, because that's GMT time is 9 o'clock in the evening, but when we're operating over the Caribbean, that's how the bridge schedule works and everything like that. Yes, in the front row.
Does location services use cellular data?
No, location services just uses your GPS. The apps that use location services may use cellular data to figure out your location, but location services on its own just uses GPS. So location services can still run when you have airplane mode on.
General question.
Yeah.
When you're talking about an app, is there a way to know if it uses the internet?
Of course there is. Of course there is. So one of the best ways is when you go in, he asked a very good question. If you go into where it says cellular, and then it will actually show you the apps that have used cellular data. So you'll see there's a lot of apps that have never used cellular data, and then I'll have some apps that have used, like Best Buy is an app that's used 70 megs of cellular data. I know a lot of you probably paid for 100 megabytes of cellular data from your cell phone carrier. You can see all of these apps that have used a lot of cellular data. I've used 90 megs of data in my Google Maps. I've used a lot of different megs of data, gigs of data, a lot of different things on data. I've used 42 megs of data on email, just to give you an idea. So you can go in right into the cellular, and it'll give you an idea of what's going on there. Yes, in the back.
The Wi-Fi calling, I did it to allow it, and it says to allow Wi-Fi calling in this account, contact Verizon.
So Verizon you do have to set up. Like I said, you have AT&T, Sprint, and T-Mobile will work natively without needing to contact to set it up. But Verizon you do have to contact to set it up. The answer for you is using Hangouts, which we'll talk about another day coming on. The series of classes that are in here, they're going to be about 15 to 20 minutes long each of the evenings, because I want to give you something that we can't get elsewhere else. So we have coming up, we have Facebook Messenger tomorrow. The day after is Netflix, and the day after that is YouTube, to give you an idea. These are little 15-minute things, but we're also going to have our classes in the theater as well. So we have 3 things tomorrow, but I didn't want to shortchange you on a short cruise, so I wanted to give you a little idea. This is airplane mode. My name is Richard. I just wanted to show you a little bit about airplane mode today. I'll stick around for any questions you have after the class, setting up internet or anything you want to do. But for today, my name is Richard. Bye!